Hi! It's been a couple of weeks since I put out a new video. I really wanted to get into a very consistent routine with this, but I had a few things that I had to deal with over the last few weeks, so hopefully the consistency can start now. I went for like a lunch break run today, so I haven't had time to like get myself all nice for you guys, so you'll just have to excuse that for this video. I promise I'll try a little harder in future videos. But I just wanted to kind of give a little introduction to who I am and do like a get to know me session so you can have some background for any future videos I make. So let's get into it. First of all, yes, this is a happy birthday sign that I've had up since my best friend's birthday in February. And then my walls were honestly kind of blank, so I thought it was cute and decided to leave it up until my birthday. And you can see that I have a painting in the background that will replace it now, so you'll just have to excuse the mess that is my apartment. Anyway, so a little bit of background on me. Basically, I grew up in Louisiana, born in Hawaii, grew up in Louisiana, and then went to college in DC to be closer to my sister and her kids. I decided I really loved the DC area and kind of made it my home, and I actually lived in Virginia, like a little bit outside of DC, but like it's Nova, which is very different from the rest of Virginia, and we considered ourselves DC. And then after college, I actually moved a little bit closer into DC, so I was in the city like right outside. I loved Virginia, and I love also living in an outside city, like right by the city, so you can access it if you want, but living kind of outside of it so that you can just like get away easier if you want to. So I lived there for a few years, and this past November, I moved to the New York City area. I'm actually in Jersey City, so it's the same deal. I really like that I live like right outside, at least to get started, because I think New York City itself would have been like wild to be thrown into such a lack of space and like such a lack of luxury amenities. I'll give you guys a tour of my apartment in a future video. I live like right across the water. I can see the skyline from my apartment. I basically like live in the city, but I don't actually. So it's just easier to get out. It's nicer amenities for me. I think it's a good fit for now. We'll see what happens when my lease is up next year, but right now I'm just in the New York City area. I decided to up and move the home that I had made myself for a few reasons. Number one, I've always loved big cities, and New York City always kind of seemed impossible, but it suddenly started seeming possible last year when prices were going down, and I looked into it. I actually was going to live in the city, but then I realized how much like I really love the area that I'm living in now. So I wanted to move up here and take the chance, and I don't know, DC was I love DC to death. It's still my home. My heart is always partially there, but it started feeling a little small to me before the pandemic, and then I just figured I'd move here, wait everything out, and like really try to build a life here in the meantime. I think the job market is better for me. Ideally, I would love to work in like lifestyle, events, tourism, etc. And there is definitely opportunity for that in DC, but not much. And I think that New York City is the hub for that. So that is essentially why I think that it's a better job market in this area. Obviously, lines are a little bit blurred now that all work is remote, but we'll see where life takes me. I also moved for a personal growth factor. I really thought it would be beneficial to push myself and move out here entirely alone, make new friends, kind of start something new. So that is an aspect of my move. I will say I knew it was going to be hard, but it's been a lot harder than I anticipated, especially moving in the middle of a time when it's like very difficult to get out and make new friends. But we'll get there eventually. I'm working on it slowly, and in the meantime I have a ton of friends that come visit and spend time with me here, and I'm very appreciative of that. And I'm also back and forth a lot to DC, so I still like hang out with people from home, which is really nice. And then lastly, I moved here to basically pursue my dreams. I thought that coming here I would kind of be forced to create and do more of what, like, vlogging, creating this brand for myself, and I really wanted to have a push to do that, and moving here I think has been a big help because I'm less distracted by a lot of my social life that I had back home, and I just like live in this awesome, beautiful space and city that I think really inspires creativity and makes you really want to just get up every day and make the most of it and work really hard for your dreams. So that is ultimately why I moved here. My goals for life, essentially, I would love to just be an entrepreneur, work for myself, be a creator. I have so many ideas that I have always had trouble following through on, and I am determined that that is going to change. I'm going to create the things that I really want and really put myself out there and my ideas, because I think I have a lot of really good ideas that just need to be discovered by the world, and I need to actually bring them to life. And so that ultimately is something I want to do. I want to create a lot of awareness around eating disorders. I know that eating disorder awareness has become more of a thing in recent years, but I think that everyone has different ways to connect with people, and I think, you know, if there's a way out there that my story could help someone that like really hasn't found a connection with someone else, I want to be able to do that. I went through a lot with that and kind of learned some things, and I know people that may be struggling with eating disorders like just don't really know how to get out of it, and if I can help in even just one person, I would love to be able to do that. So that is another goal of mine. I am currently studying for my nutrition and fitness certifications. Ultimately, I would really love to create videos around that kind of content. I don't want it to be my sole content, but I would love to make educational videos on that matter. For now, until I actually finalize the certifications, everything I say on that matter should definitely be taken with a grain of salt, but we'll get into that in later videos. And just like lifestyle, I'd love to create in that space. I love wellness. I love like making things cute. I just love the idea of lifestyle, and I really want to be a creator within that industry. So that's another goal of mine. So my channel goals kind of go in line with what I would like to create for my personal brand, and that is I'd like to make content ultimately that reflects health and wellness, lifestyle. I'd like to create beauty content. I am far from a beauty guru, but I do know my way around some makeup, and I have my own personal skincare and hair routines that, you know, I can share if that can help someone, but albeit I am not the ultimate beauty guru. I also love running. Like I said, I went for a lunchtime run today, and so I'd love to share my tips and tricks on that and just like some good running content, running trails around New York City, if anyone is interested. Obviously, I guess there's Central Park, but just like content on what running in New York City is like, running around Jersey City. I'd like to ultimately like create content about balance, because that has been something I struggled with over the last couple of years, and I think I'm finally getting a grip on like work-life balance. And mental health has been a really big topic for me lately. I recently started therapy with my move. I just, you know, I've always had anxiety a little bit, but I think recently it became more of an issue. Like I said, moving was a lot harder than I anticipated. So I started therapy, and I just would love to share like positive mental health content with the world where I can. So what do I do now? I currently work in pharma marketing. I work for an agency, so I have different clients that I work with. I do enjoy my job. I really love my team. I love my company. Everyone is really good to me there. I enjoy the specific kind of work I'm doing. I don't know if I plan to stay in the industry long term. I ultimately would like to, I think, make the transition to, like I said, lifestyle travel. But for now, I am very happy with where I am and learning a lot every day. So that's my current day job. Some of my hobbies. Currently studying for a scuba certification. I would love to take up one day underwater photography. That's something that I am working toward, and we'll see where I can get with that, but I'm hoping to be officially scuba certified by May so I can start going on dives this summer. I think that'd be really cool. I also took up skiing as a hobby this past winter. Never skied before, but I love it. It's so fun. It's so cool. It is the closest I think you can get to flying, and it's just an amazing feeling. So I love skiing. I'm going to continue to work on that every winter and get better. Maybe one day I can just absolutely destroy some black diamonds, but for now I'm gonna stick to the blues. I also love just exploring new cities, exploring old cities, just being a tourist everywhere I go. My own city as well. I think every area has something unique to offer. And so you guys will get to explore New York City with me. I have a boyfriend in the area and like a couple of friends that I know, so go out and do things occasionally, but also my friends from DC, like I mentioned, come back up and hang with me here and there. So that's something I definitely enjoy doing, is like going out to restaurants, trying new places, seeing cool new art galleries, anything trendy. So I will be able to give you the best reviews on all the places to go, what things to do. There's also a ton of places in DC I became very familiar with as I made it my home over the last few years. So I can give you a lot of good like DC, New York City recommendations, and I plan to do that on my vlog as well. Currently, I'm getting on track to my health goals. My attention was kind of diverted in a bunch of different areas for several years. So by that, I don't mean that I am aiming for a specific look or weight. I just want to really focus on getting the right nutrients every day and just kind of a balance. Like, I'm never gonna be like, oh, don't splurge on that burger. Like, I'm just all about balance, and that's kind of the message I want to share in this vlog, is balance between making sure you get your vegetables, fruits, etc., creating functional ways to make sure you get those, but then to also, enjoy the food you want to enjoy. You don't have to eat like so little or the right things to be fit. And I think that's something I really want to put out there and speak to. So by getting on track to my health goals, essentially I just mean that I am trying to incorporate more vegetables and fruits on a daily basis and like really make sure that my body feels the best that it can. I've was kind of distracted for that for a few years. Cooking was never really a priority. I just ate for convenience because I didn't really have that balance aspect in my life, and I think now I've kind of got a better handle on it and can share with you guys like my ways of making sure you get everything you need in there and then splurging when you want to. So that's something that I've been working on more recently. I also ran a half marathon last year, and I'm trying to get my distance running back up to that amount. I had a few setbacks over the last year, kind of slowed down a little bit, didn't run as much, so now I'm retraining in that area. I also use the Peloton. Love the Peloton. Highly recommend it if you can get it. I don't have one personally. I am just so lucky that my apartment complex has a Peloton in the gym, so I use that. Other fun facts, my birthday is coming up next week. I'll be taking a trip to DC and celebrating with some friends there. So that is kind of my first like official. My birthday is always like the start of spring for me. It starts to get warmer around April 12th, and It's just like when I do like the first big thing really that I'm looking forward to, and that's kind of what it is again this year. So it'll be like the first trip back to DC where I like really have all of this stuff planned and get to enjoy my time there. And then it's gonna start just kind of a bunch of plans that I have over the spring and summer. So excited to take you guys along with me on that. And yeah, that's basically an intro on me. It's nice to meet you guys, and can't wait to show you more content and figure out how to end these videos better.